everyone, my name is Willow, and this is my review of the Middleman collected series, Indispensability. Middleman! I got the title right. Yes. So, some of you may be familiar with the Middleman television series that was on ABC Family back in around 2010. Had Natalie Morales and Matt Kiesler. Well, something you may not have known is that it actually came from a comic book series. So, from the show creator, we have 3 different stories that make up the Middleman comic book. And most of what you read in here is actually also spaced out in the Middleman series. But, of course, comic books being of a different nature than television, the stories turn out a little differently in here. So here you have kind of the purer form of the stories, whereas, the television version had to be altered a little bit for things that they may not have been able to accomplish, either due to budget or due to, standards and practices nixing an idea. But, so here you have kind of the pure form of what the Middleman was. And it's interesting, having seen the show and then going into and reading this, because you get the sense that some of the stories were meant to be bigger than they turned out to be, and you do have to wonder if that had more to do with just the show's budget than it did anything else when you see how some of those stories were in this compared to where they were on the show. And I kind of would like to see the 100% comic book versions translated to television as they were meant to be. But, that's unlikely to happen. Unless somebody just decides they want a revival of the Middleman, which I'd be all for. I want more Middleman. In fact, after reading this, I actually ordered the box set of the TV show, which I've been meaning to do for a while anyway, and I've just kind of been putting it off, and then when I finally read this, I had to watch the show again, so I immediately ordered it on Amazon, and I'm only a couple episodes in on that due to other things getting in the way, but I have been immensely enjoying myself rewatching the show, especially after seeing how those stories were originally plotted in the mind of the creator. Also included in the collected series here is another series of tales that were written by the creator and then drawn by several different artists that tell kind of the epic expanded history of the Middleman. The 3 tales include one that takes place during World War II, one that takes place in Victorian era England, and actually involves some well-known fictional characters kind of getting one-upped by the Middleman, and I don't want to spoil it in case you want to read it, but it's pretty funny. It's a funny story. That I really like that one, and that's what I love about this whole series. Actually, is that the humor in it. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's got a very kitsch sensibility, and I love how the Middleman himself kind of takes everything at face value in this world because he's been doing it so long. And then we have Wendy Watson, who's his new assistant / trainee, and just her reactions compared to his. And sometimes it does seem like he's just kind of messing with her throughout the history of both the comic and the TV series. And I think it's written that way on purpose. I think that, because the Middleman's been doing this so long and now he gets this new person in who gets to see all this stuff that he's now taking his old hat. He gets to have a little fun with it, It's got that Men in Black style of, when Kay recruits Jay and Kay introducing Jay to all the things that he's gotten used to over the years and seeing it through fresh eyes through Agent J. It's a similar dynamic in this, and that's one of the things I liked about it. And Oh, and then the third, I got off track. I got completely off track. I'm sorry. Then the third additional story included in this is one set in like the Hyborian age of Conan, and like a very early middleman who is very much a Conan figure, but who does what the middleman does. In fact, you could actually probably say that the middleman of the Hyborian age is Conan, but, you know, due to licensing rights, they couldn't honestly do that. But you could easily say that Conan is kind of like an early version of the middleman, even if he didn't know he was working for some kind of like secret power. The adventures that Conan had did often align with the kind of things that the middleman would be sent to do. Which that's the other thing I like about it, is that, you know, he's got that like that kind of working man Hellboy aesthetic where it's like, you know, all these paranormal things keep popping up and somebody's got to do it. So if you're into that kind of Men in Black, Hellboy, Ghostbusters kind of story where it is like these kind of, you know, average Joe working man types taking on these like huge paranormal threats, then I think you will enjoy The Middleman. So I highly recommend it. And it was one of my favorite TV series. I hate that it didn't last, but I'm glad that I discovered the comic, and have thoroughly enjoyed reading this. But yeah. There you have it. That is my review of the Middleman Collected Series, Indispensability. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. As always, I hope you're all well, and I will see you next week. Middleman! And now we do the Middleman. Middleman! Now we're doing the Middleman segment. Middleman! Don't spit on the lens, don't spit on the lens, don't spit on the lens, da-da-da. Middleman! I'm not going to use any of that.